And I like the actually word activism, which is not necessarily well used in Japan, but I think it's very much energizing words to use in this context. So I'd like to be activist with all of you to make a new world together. Reimagining capitalism is the very important part of the what we have to reimagine, because the market-oriented capitalism is at the risk of collapse, I would say. As you know, Japan is under the influence of the United States socio-economic model, basically neoliberalism capitalism. And it worked for a certain time, but if you look back for the past 10, 20 years, the byproduct is getting bigger, uh, including the gap between rich and poor, and then environmental pollution. So are we going to keep the same systems going forward? Well, is it the time to redefine what the capitalism should look like? Likewise, political system is also closely linked to the economic system. So unless we have a political will to make a change, the market system doesn't change. Putting the other way, if you don't really design the markets through a political channel, the capitalism will never evolve. So you really have to change both political systems and the market. There are the both sides of the coin. If we didn't have this global crisis, we never paid attention to the necessary changes to come. But the corona forced us to think in depth what do we have to do towards the future. Basically, Japan is Tokyo-centric in terms of population, business, economy, politics. Everything is concentrated in Tokyo, so that the local community is not much growing. But the social distancing necessitates more dispersed use of land, the more diversified use of the country itself. Partly it's the risk hedging, it's diversification risk, but at the same time, developing more robust living location cities in local Japan is the direction we were forced to take because of the corona situation. So the getting more jobs, getting more youngsters, more innovations at the local places is now the must item we have to take right now. So where do we implement this idea just I mentioned? I think it's going to be the local Japan, not the central Japan. And then developing the smart cities, the sustainable cities in local parts of Japan is the venue itself for the changes going forward. We'd like to invite the younger generations to the location to let them implement, try what they believe is right. More empowerment to young people at the teenagers, 20s, 30s, maybe some 40s, those who are more willing to make their future, not just live the remaining life until the end. Those should be the owners of the change.